Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. I am super sorry for Mr. Z's tardiness today. I was looking for a clip, and I can't find it, unfortunately. So you guys are gonna have to take my word for it or look for it yourself. And the clip was of Miss Ebony K. Williams. We're really not gonna be talking about her so much, and we're gonna be talking about using her as an avatar to talk about the sleight of hand that often happens. We'll get to that in a minute. But the clip was of Miss Ebony K. Williams pretty much saying it's difficult for women like her who are rich and they're looking for a man that's even richer, right? And I wanted to use that to have FD signifiers respond to that, to have Richard Reeves respond to that, to have Scott Galloway respond to that, right? To have all these supposed feminine, all the people that say no. The problem is that the men are insecure about their position respond to that, right? So if I can find the clip, we might be doing a part 2 to this, and I might rehash the whole entire conversation because it's important. And yes, Miss Ebony K. Williams is a rich, successful woman, so people think, okay, if she's speaking like that, it's understandable. No, the problem is that your everyday run-of-the-mill woman, including black women, sounds just like that. That's the problem, right? They're not signing up for the other part of the bargain, is what Mr. Z is saying. The part where, like, okay, yeah, you're a woman and you earn a little bit more than your man, and yeah, so you'll still marry him or you'll still partner with him, and y'all have children and raise families, and that way America can have a next generation of taxpayers and military recruits, and no, the women said no, right? So where's Mr. Z going with the sleight of hand? Why did Mr. Z want to use this clip to speak about the sleight of hand? To say again, let's not forget what Miss Ebony K. Williams and Iyanla Vanzant were there to speak about, right? Ebony K. Williams brought Iyanla Vanzant on to speak about Ebony K. Williams and other women, primarily black women, but other women, and their lack of relationships. And the sleight of hand is that we went from that to the black community being defective, particularly black men, right? And Leon said, bro, I sent you a clip of Dr. Umar Johnson going off on her. Damn. Okay, so there might be a part 2 to this conversation. This conversation is just the gift that keeps on giving, because it is a culmination of everything that the black manosphere has been saying for the past decade, right? It is everything the black manosphere has been saying for the past decade, right? And that's the problem. Well, actually, that's not a problem. It's great for us because more and more women across the class spectrum, across the education spectrum, across income, right, across different tax brackets are saying the same thing. And I would like to know what Steve Harvey has to say about that. That's the problem with these young men today, these young boys today. No. The problem is y'all raise spoiled brat ass daughters. It doesn't matter how mature we are. It doesn't matter how hardworking we are as men. Your daughters are spoiled brats, insufferable a-holes. Y'all raise a bunch of grown-ass women with princess complex. God forbid she actually is academically accomplished. She's worse. The reason why I say sleight of hand is because we went from a conversation that was supposed to be about Ebony K. Williams and why she doesn't have a man to once again somehow black men ain't being ish. We went from Iyanla Vanzant and Ebony K. Williams speaking about why Ebony K. Williams is finding it difficult to find a man and keep a man to black men not being ish. She literally said, let's put this to the side because this is not about me and my love life or my sex life. Actually, yes, it is. That was what started this whole entire conversation. That's the sleight of hand, everyone. How did we allow Ebony K. Williams, I say we loosely, how did we allow Ebony K. Williams to weasel out of why a successful, attractive, intelligent, educated, connected black woman doesn't have a man? We went from why she's insufferable, i.e. a lot of black women in her same position are insufferable, to once again somehow coming right back around to, black men ain't ish, right? We allowed the black woman that dated outside of her race to somehow get back to, these blue collar black men, they're the problem. These working class black men, they're the problem. They haven't done enough. These black men that's 2, 3, 4 tax brackets under me, they're the problem. Huh. Interesting. And everybody ate that. Right? Everybody ate that. Allowed Ebony K. Williams, once again, connected, educated, intelligent, attractive. We allowed this woman who's single, and it's becoming more and more evident, isn't it? Because she's insufferable. She's so insufferable that all those other things don't matter. She dated out, doesn't matter. Educated, doesn't matter. Attractive, doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter, right? All of that doesn't matter. And yet, we allowed Ebony K. Williams and other black women to say, well, she shouldn't have to settle. Wait, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why she's single. Wait, you're telling her to date a bus driver. No. That's not the topic at hand. Why is Ebony K. Williams single? And we're using Ebony K. Williams as an avatar for her class of educated black women, just in case anybody doesn't get it yet. Name your major cities in America with a significant black population, and there's a whole lot of Ebony K. Williams. Right? Many of them not as attractive as her. Let's keep our eyes on the ball, everyone. The problem is, why are so many attractive, educated black women single? And not just single out of choice, stop. Single and miserable, and then making everyone else around them life miserable because they're miserable and they have to emote, right? And they have to project, right? The sleight of hand is that Ebony K. Williams was allowed to go on the Breakfast Club and speak about everything but why she's still single. And why she's bringing Iyanla Vanzant on to tell her why she's single, and then her pretty much tell Iyanla Vanzant, yeah, no. Yeah. Sorry, elder, but nah. I mean, you're right, but you're not right. And when Iyanla Vanzant offers her an idea, she tells Iyanla Vanzant, go kick rocks. And other black women who are living vicariously through her because they don't have her money and status and also feel slighted. What is Mr. Z saying? $40,000, $50,000 a year women, $60,000 a year women feel slighted that Miss Iyanla Vanzant essentially told Ebony K. Williams, you're in the provider role. Maybe you should look at this a little differently. Right? If you check out the conversation that Ebony K. Williams had on, what's the name of it? Whore something or another, whore something, right? And definitely one of the women I've seen on multiple different kind of social media. She floats around on social media. She does her own thing. I guess podcaster, if you want to call it that, right? All of them have contempt for your everyday person. All of this, like backward, backhanded compliment and then go into insulting. A lot of them engage in that. They tell you, yeah, we need these people. These people are essential to our lives. And then they spend the next 10 minutes insulting these people. You know what black classism look like? Like white classism. You know what black elitism look like? Like white elitism. Oh yeah, sprinkle some respectability in that also, by the way. I'm sorry, not sprinkle. Smother some respectability onto that, by the way. Right? So Leon, if you telling me Dr. Umar Johnson went in, you know Angela Rye went in a little bit too. That's another black woman that's an attorney. That's fairly attractive. Wait a minute, Angela Rye never been married or had children either. Huh. That's interesting. Angela Rye has also dated rich men also. Huh. So I guess we're having a war amongst the elite black people also. The ones that have contempt for black people and the ones that have less contempt for black people. I didn't say no contempt. Notice that. Right? It's a war of the black elite people. The ones that like to say the quiet part out loud about how much contempt they have for black people, and the other ones that don't like to say the quiet part out loud and like to, yeah, we don't have to say it though. Do we have to tell them how much contempt we have for them? Right? And y'all give me a second. I know I'm getting to a dead zone right now, so give Mr. Z a second. Let me get through this dead zone. I know I'm in a dead zone. Give me a second, everybody. All right. Give me 1 second. Maybe I'll be out of the dead zone in a minute. Okay, y'all like shift. So I want us to be of these sleight of hands. Stay on topic. You're gonna find this often with the Ebony K. Williams of the world, right? When you ask them a question about them and what they're lacking and maybe some character flaws that's causing them to be miserable, because it's not about Ebony K. Williams being single in a vacuum. It's why she's single, right? And why other black women like her are single, right? And when we start to question them and start to have a comment, and not even question them, when they question themselves, when they question the environment, when they question or when they make pronouncements about how horrible black men are, and what's implied is that the reason why they're single is because black men are horrible. When we start to be like, well, it looks like you have some character flaws here. Let's not allow them to play the sleight of hand, the card game, the 3-card Monty, and we get back to, well, black men are blue-collar losers. Black men are driving buses and they're losers. I'm not dating no bus driver. I'm a whole famous attorney. What do I look like stepping down like that? Let's not allow them to do the sleight of hand game. Right? Because essentially that's what was allowed with Ebony K. Williams. We went from talking about why she's single to talking about how horrible black men are. Right? And thank you, Nema. Nema said DMV comes to mind. That DMV area is probably full of, fit, attractive, middle-aged, getting to middle-aged black women, educated, connected, single like a loose leaf paper. Here's the important part. I want to stress this. It's not about them being single. Single, miserable, talking crap about black men, and perpetuating negative stereotypes about black men because of what is lacking in their intimate love lives. That's what we need to keep on emphasizing. When Mr. Z says single, I'm not just speaking about being single in a vacuum. I'm speaking about them being single and then how they then walk around this world because they're single. right? Ebony K. Williams literally did everything except not be insufferable in an asshole. That's all. She won the genetic lottery. She went to a nice school. She's connected. She's famous. She's rich. The only thing Miss Ebony K. Williams has to do is not be insufferable, and she will be okay. That's all you have to do, Miss Ebony K. Williams, is not be insufferable. Not be condescending, not be belittling, and not getting off on it. That's all you have to do. That's what's so difficult. You know, not think the whole entire world revolves around you. That's all you have to do, Miss Ebony. I mean, if you were able to go to law school, graduate law school, pass the bar, right? Graduate from Chapel Hill. If you were able to do all of that, not being insufferable should be easy. You passed the bar. Not being insufferable should be easy. That should be cakewalk. Right? Not talking crap about other members of the black community should be easy. Not condescending to black men after you just broke up with a white man should be easy. It should be easy. It should be easy to look in the mirror and reflect and see all of your shortcomings because of you. It's not about black men clearly because you've dated out. It's not about the black community clearly because you've dated out. You had the white man with the white children, the ready-made family. Didn't work. Right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. The sleight of hand is whenever we get into a conversation about black women and how black women may be insufferable and how black women may be stabbing their own selves and shooting their own selves in the foot, somehow black men come up and what black men are lacking and how black men are falling short. A conversation about a black woman and her being single and the reasons why she's single and how exposed she was and that snarky, smug look on her face that no heterosexual man wants. Not just black men, no man wants anything to do with. We allowed her to slip that punch and refocus the conversation on how black men are lacking. We allowed a conversation about why black women like Ebony K. Williams are single. We allowed it to be about how black men are lacking. That was a sleight of hand. We allowed Ebony K. Williams and then other black women like her, like Yanni, to turn the conversation into how black men are lacking. Clearly, it doesn't matter because more and more of you are saying how you're not race loyal. Ebony K. Williams was not race loyal. So what does this have to do with black men? You know what it has to do with black men? You know what they're really trying to say? Well, there should be enough of you that are super ultra mega rich and wealthy and captains of industry that I get to leave the white man and then come in with you. You should be there as my consolation prize. No. I should be able to make fun of you, insult you, belittle you, go end up with the white man, fail, and then still, you're supposed to be captain of industry enough for me to marry you for 5 years, divorce you, and take half. Why aren't you there for me to exploit? Why aren't you rich enough for me to exploit, black man? It's not fair that I get to say, you know what, none of these black men are really on my level. Let me go end up with this white dude. Oh crap, he's an actual father. He wants to quarantine with his children. He picked his white children over black me. He pretty much said, if you come in, you come in, but if you not, you not. Ha ha, pun intended. Right? And I chose to not quarantine with him and his white children. And now that I'm back out here, now that I got kicked off of Mount Olympus, I'm mad that I don't have the captains of enough captain of industry men that are willing to overlook the fact that I was with the white dude. And now that I'm talking crap, I'm throwing a fit. I am throwing a fit. And that's all it is. Ebony K. Williams is throwing a fit because she feels like she's being regulated to working class black men that she thinks she's better than because there's not enough black men on her level or above. Not even on her level. Ebony K. Williams don't want a black man on her level. She wants a black man above. She wants captain of industry, and that's what she was saying. That's the clip I was trying to find on the show I'm referring to. Right? And y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all give me 1 second. Right, and y'all give me 1 second. And Better You says, and thank you, Better You, for the super chat. Thank you, Better You, for the super chat. And Better You says she looks down on blue collar folks, but ignores there's several well paying vital fields. My uncle owned a HVAC biz you can't live without in the South. So yeah, but it's the prestige too, though. It's the prestige too, also. It's not, and she said it, and so did Kim Foster, right? It's not about the money. It's about the prestige. It's about the class. I want to be an upper middle class rich or an elite white woman, right? So like, yeah, your uncle can earn 150 for all she care. It's not enough, right? Because it's about the class. It's the class expression, right? So yeah, it's the class expression, right? Y'all give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. And let me read this comment real quick that Big Kev said. And Big Kev says the worst fear of divestors is for a critical mass of black men to sincerely agree with them and tell them to go screw white men and leave us alone. Yeah, yes, because then it's very clear what is going on, right? It'll be very clear that hey, yeah, that don't got nothing to do with us, right? That don't got nothing to do with us. So, black men, what about those? What about your women? What women? Those are not our women. Those are your women, right? So the sleight of hand that Ebony K. Williams was able to pull and other black women like her was very interesting because they admit more and more that they could care less about black men. They're dating outside of their race. They're having sex outside of their race. They're showing you their contempt. But whenever we ask them, so how's it going with the white guys over there? Black men don't build. What? What are you do? Who asked what? We just asked you how everything was going. As a matter of fact, better yet, you're telling us how horrible we are, and we're like, well, haven't you dated a white guy? What do black men have to do with anything with you intimately? Black men don't build. What does that have to do with you and the white guy? Miss Ebony K. Williams, what does that have to do with you and why you're single? And it's a rhetorical question because we know what they're trying to say. They're single because black men don't build. Yeah, but you haven't decided to be exclusive to black men. You date whoever. You're looking for a lifestyle. Whoever can provide it, so be it. Go end up with those supermen over there, the white men. The white guys that you swear by, go be with them. Right? No more of this sleight of hand where the conversation finally, once again, finally, the conversation is finally about black women and maybe some character flaws that they may have. No more sleight of hand of somehow we're talking about black women and their character flaws, and then we end up in, but you know, black men ain't ish though. You know that, right? You know the real issue. Let me tell you about these blue collar black men that are lazy and they're just resting on their laurels and they don't want to come out here and be the captains of industry like the white men that I date. Ooh, see? Like the white men I have sex with, right? Once again, the conversation, y'all give me a second, y'all. We're back. We're back. That was my food, you guys. That was my food. Okay. Um, no, it's not Popeyes. Before somebody asked, right? Okay. As I was saying, allowing for this sleight of hand to happen over and over and over again, where we go from speaking about black women and their character flaws to how black men are lacking, we need to dead that. Black men need to not stand for that anymore. And I understand we're attempting to protect our position. We're attempting to protect our likeness and our image, right? But in reality, we need to stick right back to, and we have our issues with Charlemagne and TJ, but shout out to them for whatever they attempted to do on that channel. But no, the conversation should have kept on coming right back to, yeah, but the conversation was about you being single or black women feeling like black men are not on their level. However you want to frame the conversation was about how black men are black women being single. And for women like Ebony K. Williams, you can't say anything about black men because you're not exclusive to black men. You have clearly shown you are willing to hop the fence, and there's nothing, ladies, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But why is black men name in your mouth? Why is Ebony K. Williams talking about HBCUs and how it's 2 to 1 and 50% of HBCUs is it's black, excuse me, it's 1 to 2 for black men and black women. So in other words, for every one black man, there's 2 black women. Why is that a topic of conversation? You dated a white man that was wealthy. He didn't go to HBCU. Did he attend the HBCU? Right? Why are these people allowed to talk, particularly about black relationships and black intimacy? You are an accomplished woman, black woman. But let's be very clear. You're just a woman. Just a woman. Ain't really nothing black. You just like to condescend down to black men. Well, I guess maybe in a weird way that is black. You're an elite black woman. Date your tax bracket. Stop talking about the men that are beneath you, right? The men that you're better than, stop mentioning them. They're of no consequence to you. Date and speak in your tax bracket. Oh, wait a minute. That might include that white guy that you were with, right? Huh. Then we're going to have to start talking about why you're still single, even though you are dating in your tax bracket. Right? Huh. I'm saying Indigo Flow. Indigo Flow says, isn't that punching down? Yes. Oh, they stay punching down. It's not called punching down, though. See, when black women like Ebony K. Williams, like Kim Foster, like Khadijah, right? Like Pierce Malone, like Chrissy, like Mahogany Pink, like Lexus Exodus. See, when they punch down, it's not seen as punching down. It's just seen as giving an honest critique of heterosexual black men and their failings, right? It's seen as just speaking one's truth, right? It's actually really insulting. But that's okay because we are black men, and insulting black men, that's what the black community does. That is about as black as you can get. Insulting black men, that's par for the course. Right? You know. So you guys, I'm gonna have to make this one short. Let me read Kevin C's comment here. And thank you for the super chat, Mr. Kevin C. And Kevin C says, divestors are stressing these white men out. White men must build an entire infrastructure for both black and white women. How will they ever get it done? Who told y'all Kevin C wasn't funny? And it's not just black women are just the loudest about it. Remember, they got to do it for Asian women too. And Latinas. Mejor La Raza, right? See, apparently we thought Mejor La Raza was just a Latino thing. Apparently, Mejor La Raza is a global thing. All women of color are saying Mejor La Raza, including white women. Apparently, right? That's funny, Kevin C. How will they get it done? I have no idea. I'm just a lowly blue-collar black man. I'm beneath all of these women, right? I'm a peasant, a plebe, right? I don't worry myself with these upper echelon type conversations, right? The aristocratic conversations, the conversations the elite have amongst themselves, which is all women and white men, all women of color and white women and white men. All you men of color, particularly you black men, you are plebes, right? What Ebony K. Williams is doing up there with the elite white dudes is none of my business until she comes down here and starts to condescend down to me about what I'm not doing. Well, Go ask your white man about that, right? Go ask your white man about that. And Lion says, and thank you for the super chat. Lion says, women like her have a greater fear of not being able to have the freedom of choice in the men they want. That's where the settling talk comes from. Exactly. Exactly. And the reason why Mr. Z does the lives I do, the way that I do them, is to stress that, is to emphasize exactly that. That all of this conversation about everything in the black community, unfortunately, comes down to who's having sex with who. Damn, Mr. Z, you just said that. I did. Black women, every black women from your Walmart greeter all the way across to the Ebony K. Williams, all the way across to the Gayle Kings and the Oprahs and the Condoleezza Rice. Everyone, listen, it all comes down to their growing area. A bunch of grown ass people feeling slighted about who didn't want them when they were children, who they couldn't marry, who didn't appreciate their beauty or their education or their accomplishments. All of it comes down to, see, we talk about plantation politics. I don't think, no, that's not it. Let's call it bedroom politics, right? Sex politics, something along those lines, right? And on that note, you guys, I have to end it out early today. Can't stay on too long. Have things to do. All right, so we will pause right here. We might be able to continue this conversation. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we'll be able to continue this conversation maybe later on tonight. After Black Manosphere Show of the week. Y'all make sure to check out Black Manosphere Show of the week, which should be 7 o'clock Eastern time, Central time at 6 o'clock, right? So we'll pause right here. Truly, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. For the love of God, go check out other non-Black Manosphere content. All right, Mr. Z out. All right, you guys. I am sorry for the short ending today. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.